Hi guys, what's the story? It turns out that there's an awful lot of people on my page who spend an awful lot of time on my page that don't understand what the titanium plate theory means, okay? I do not know how this has passed people by because I talk about it all the time. I talk about it everywhere that I go. I talk about it in all my workshops. I talk about it in all my seminars, in Warrior Women, in my one-to-ones, in the schools that I teach in. I speak about it everywhere. The reason why I speak about it everywhere is because it's one of the cornerstones of my belief system and also one of the cornerstones of everything that I teach. Okay, it's one of the main foundations, right? So here you go. This is a brief yet concise version of what the titanium plate is. Okay, here we go. If you imagine when everybody is born, they're born with a titanium plate in their chest, okay? And when life happens to them, life just bounces off and everything's cool. But through life experiences, and we all have them, okay? Through things that hurt us, through things that upset us. Hiya, Pamela. Pamela knows all about the titanium plate, don't you, Pamela? You're going to love this. Hi Martina, honey, great to see you tonight. Through life experiences, your titanium plate becomes damaged, okay? Because it's been in battle, right? We have emotional holes. All of our emotional holes represent a pain, okay? Some of our emotional holes are really, really small. Some of our emotional holes are really, really big, okay? And all of our pain is the same. We just choose to display our pain in different ways. That's why I always say that you are the same as the homeless person on the street or somebody who has an issue with addiction. We are all equal. We are all the same. However, when we have pain, we just choose to display it in different ways, okay? We're all the same. We're just working from a different vibration. So what we do is, unbeknownst to us, is we choose, when we feel that pain, okay, we choose to fill our emotional holes from the outside in, okay? Now, when we choose to fill our emotional holes from the outside in, that's pleasure. It's different to happiness, okay? So let me give you an example. A little hole, a little emotional hole, might warrant a bag of crisps and a bar of chocolate. A little bit of a bigger emotional hole might warrant, in your mind, a bottle of wine. You might be a big smoker. You could be a big drinker. You could be gambling. You could be having an affair. You could be sticking a needle in your arm, or you could be snorting stuff up your nose, okay? It doesn't really matter. You could be shopping. You could be overtraining, okay? Any excesses in your life from the outside in is filling your titanium plate and your emotional holes in the wrong way. Now, there's somebody calling me here and I'm waiting for her to call me for the last few days. She's only calling me now. So, when we choose to fill our emotional holes from the outside in with pleasure, okay, because happiness only comes from the inside out. When we choose to fill our emotional holes from the outside in, it's temporary, okay? It is quicksand and it sticks and it feels really, really good in the moment, okay? And your pain and the reason why you're upset or whatever is gone. You're not feeling it anymore because you've numbed it with whatever. Numbing it with Facebook, numbing it with stupid television, okay? Numbing it with stupid people that you're keeping in your life, people that are not good for you, okay? So when this slips away, right, the quicksand slips away, because it's only temporary, because it's pleasure, the emotional hole is back again. And you're like, okay, what do I do with this? I have to do that again. So whatever it is your thing, you do it again. And you do it again, and you do it again, okay? This is what we do. We're human, all right? Now, when you do spiritual development, like what I do, and empowerment, I teach you how to fill your emotional holes from the inside out, okay? And when you fill your emotional holes from the inside out, that stuff is also made of titanium. it is permanent and it fills your emotional holes, so you go back again to being bulletproof. Life is just bouncing off you, okay? Now that doesn't mean that you're not going to have slip-ups. It doesn't mean you're not going to be hurt. What it does mean is that you're going to be able to handle the situation much more better than you would have if you didn't fill your emotional holes correctly, okay? Now, hi Angela, great to see you, honey. The story is that today there was a few feathers fuffled on my page because a gorgeous girl called Sue Masterson, who was inspired to do Dip in the Nip from something that Janice and I had said online a couple of months ago. And she made her way all the way, I think it could have been from Tullamore maybe. And we bumped into her on the day of Dip in the Nip, and she told us that she was there because I'd inspired her, and she ended up doing Dip in the Nip with us. And it was brilliant. She ended up coming to my last workshop in the Gibson Hotel, and she was sitting to my left-hand side, and we had great crack. But there was a comment that was made. Hi, Amanda. Amanda was at the workshop. Amanda, remember this. There was a comment that was made on the day, right? And we were talking about the titanium plate and ways in which people choose to fill them, okay? Now, Sue tagged me in a post yesterday and I actually shared it on my page. And I'm paraphrasing now, but it said something along the lines of something about looking for attention and checking into hospitals, okay? Now, the one thing that post was missing, I shared it from somebody else's page. The one thing that post was missing was the why. The why is always important, okay? Anytime I'm doing a live stream, I always ask myself, why? What's your intention? If I'm going to meet somebody, why are you meeting this person? What's your intention? Always find out what your intention is, okay? Sorry about the noise in the background. That's the dog telling me that he's looking for more food. So Sue tagged me in the post and I shared it onto my page, and people misunderstood what it was that I was trying to say because I hadn't said why, and the post didn't say why, okay? But going back to the workshop, when I said it really infuriates me when people check exactly, Amanda, what is your motive? When people check into hospitals and don't say why, what that creates is it's attention-seeking behaviour, okay? And they are filling their emotional holes from the outside in, okay? If you're checking into a hospital and you're not saying why you're there, people are going to come back to you and say, why are you in hospital? I hope you're okay. And that's attention, okay? And listen, we all love it. We all love attention, and that's fine. But people who say, I'll PM you, babe, or worst day of my life, or what happened, I'll PM you, babe. Okay, that's all attention-seeking behaviour. But why people do that is because they're sad, they're lonely, they're desperate for attention, and they're just looking for it in the wrong way, okay? And they're filling their emotional holes from the outside in. Now, why it infuriates me that they do this is because I wish they knew about their emotional holes, and I wish that they had the balls to put up on Facebook, I am in hospital, I am sad, I am lonely, I need support, I need friendship, I need my community, I need somebody to come and mind me, okay? But they don't have the awareness that that's how it is. Maybe they do have the awareness that that's how they're feeling, but they don't have the consciousness to actually put that out there on Facebook, okay? So that's why it infuriates me, because I want to help them. When I see them doing that, I'm like, oh my God, if that girl or that guy just knew about what the titanium plate actually is and their motives behind putting it up, if they ask themselves, why am I actually putting this up here? What do I need from this by putting this up here? Okay? I clearly need support and love and help and guidance and somebody to just say, do you know what? You're going to be okay. I went through that myself. And listen, if Facebook had been around when Jamie Bourne was a small baby, myself and Neil spent the first 2 years on Temple Street Hospital floor. He was very ill, and look, other things as well, and other family members. Spent a lot of time in hospitals. And if I had had Facebook back then, I would have been asking, I need help. I need help with Charlie. I need help with Neil. I need help with this. But it wasn't. I wasn't on Facebook back then, so I didn't do that. However, if I do need help, I have no problem asking for help now. It used to be a huge problem for me years ago, but I've learned otherwise. So listen, I hope that I haven't forgot to mention any part of that theory. I hope that I'm explaining myself clearly, because that's why I don't really write at it anymore, because it's open to interpretation. Whereas when you can see my face and you can see my facial expressions and you can hear the tone in my voice, you can't mistake where I'm coming from. Whereas in text form, you can. So let's see. I think there's a couple of questions here. Let me see. Oh God, there's a lot. Hang on. Martina Kelly, Jenny Reynolds is watching. Daryl Sheridan. Eve, happy new year. Love your page. Thank you so much, Daryl. Natasha Duffy. The Queen is speaking. Natasha, that's so funny. Oh my God. I need a crown. Natasha. Antoinette Courtney. Knew you wouldn't leave it till tomorrow to do this video. You look lovely, by the way. Thanks ever so much, Antoinette. Oh no, listen. When I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, and you know that above all, Antoinette. It was a very long day here in this house, and I should be in watching the darts. Lads, I am obsessed with the darts. But as soon as I'm finished this, I'm absolutely going to go in, and then I'm going to finish off watching Fiddler on the Roof. First time I watched that movie today, only got through halfway, and it's deadly. Kieran Hurley, great stuff. Thank you, Kieran. Angela O'Hara McQuillan, my number one, I love her. Jackie Gibbons, brilliant. Nicola, thank you. Amanda Delaney, gorgeous lady too. Louise Lamari, I needed to hear this tonight. I'm delighted that you heard this, Louise. You never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're inspiring. And you never know who, when you put something up, that somebody will message you in the middle of the night and say, thanks for that. I really needed that. And it's messages like that spur me to go on and do more. Kieran Hurry says he's in love. Well, who now, Kieran? We have to find out. Amanda Delaney, what's your motive? Yeah. Nicola Hines, I hate when people do that. Each to their own, though. Yeah, absolutely, each to their own, Nicola. And listen, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You're not everybody's cup of tea. And that's going to be grand. However, I have a little disease called wanting to help everybody. And I have to stop that. I have to accept the fact, Nicola, that people with eyes to see and ears to hear will listen. And I have to continue to go on quietly and softly on my path and continue doing what I'm doing. And anybody who's interested will be on this page and come to hear me speak. And anybody who's not interested won't. And people who are not interested in my stuff on my page shouldn't be on my page. They should move on to somebody else's page who will benefit them. If I'm not benefiting you, you need to jog on. Classic PM hun attention seeking, yeah. But I want to get all them and give them all a seminar. Nicola Hines really didn't think that was behind it. Yeah, it is, Nicola. Oh, I'm after moving the messages now. Hang on a minute. Jackie Gibbons, or when people say, get this day away from me, I hate that too. I know. Listen, it's really important as well, lads, that when we're in bad form, that we say we're in bad form, but we say why we're in bad form, so that people can identify with us or offer us help. Because when people say stuff like that, get this day away from me, worst day of my life, people are getting attention, but it's only short term. It's not getting a solution to your problem. We need to get solutions to the problem. We can't be sticking plasters on something that needs stitches. Anthony Courtney, crystal clear. Thank you, darling. Amanda Delaney, motives keep coming up this week. Yeah, and listen, I'm not supposed to be working at the moment. Don't tell Janice Viscardi, she'll go cray. I'm not supposed to be back to work until the 8th, but I unfortunately didn't put up my scheduled posts. So every day I'm coming onto Facebook to put up a post because I want the page to be active and to be current. And then I got distracted this morning with all the comments on that post that myself and Sue put up. Kat O'Donnell, missed the start of this. That happened to you before, babe. Barry Morty, you have a halo. Will you go away? Can you see a halo? Or is there energy over my head or something? I love you, Barry. I do love you. Cindy Adam, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you too, honey. Edel Moran, thank you. Loretta Hart, such an inspiration, my friend. Go, Loretta! Loretta, I love you. Loretta does a very similar job to me over in Australia. And I just adore her. She's a ball of energy and she is a mighty woman and she doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks of her, which I wanted to actually speak to you about. I'll speak about that now before I move on, actually. It is really important not to care what anybody says or thinks about you, because it's none of your business and they are going to think it anyway. There is nothing that you can do or say to make anybody change their opinion of you. End of story. When people make their minds up, they make their minds up, and that is absolutely fine. But if you turn into a chameleon and try to be all things to all people, you will lose the center of who you are. Your spirit will be broken and you won't be able to say I am, which is really important, okay? So yeah, we can't really care. We have to let that stuff bounce off our titanium plate. When you work on your titanium plate, you won't care. Louise Lamari, help it is. Let me see. Fiona Martin, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Amanda Delaney, well said, boom. You mentioned a cup of tea and now I have to go and brew up. And look, I made a cup of tea. Well, Neil actually made me a cup of tea just before I started. So it would be a perfect temperature for me for when I'm finished. So I'm looking forward to that. Shouldn't count themselves. They're alive. You're right. Get this day away from me. You're looking, you have a life. Sorry, my dyslexia is kicking in and it's very late and I'm finding it hard to read. Be open-minded and honest with yourself and help each other. Absolutely, Adrian, well said. Aidan O'Connell, I've been watching your Facebook videos. Great insight, fantastic girl. Thank you very much. I will accept that very gracefully. Great to see you always brighten my day. Thank you, darling. Amanda, you brighten my day too. Amanda, I was doing a list of my achievements of 2017 a little while ago and you popped up because I was your guest speaker and I was really, 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 really chuffed by that. Barry Mortar, right back at you, my dear. Thank you, pal. Loretta Hart, there will always be judgment. You just get not to take it personally. You can't take anything personally. You can't. Everybody's right from their perspective. Everybody is right from their perspective, you know? And when we get that, life is just easier. Jackie Gibbons, absolutely, Nicola. What people say behind my back is none of my business. I say, lol, I am titanium. Yes, Jackie, I love it. I love it, Jackie. Mary Flynn, good on you. Pamela Galligan, absolutely, hon. Too many people judge people. This is something that has come up for me since last weekend. I bless them with thank you. Yes, good woman. When people piss you off, pray for them. Adrian Morrison, boom. Right, lads, I'm going to leave it there. I need to return that call to me pal who've been trying to get for the last couple of days. We've been trying to get each other. So listen, have a lovely evening. If you have any questions about the titanium plate, if I have not explained myself clearly, pop your questions in underneath and I'll get back to you because it's really, really important that that's understood correctly. All right? Love yous all. Take care. Slán.